Hello and welcome to episode 53 of Battlefield 4 News. So we've got a maintenance period coming up tomorrow, we've got a few issues that the game's having, and we have a look at the stats for the number of people playing Battlefield 4 right now. So this blue message appeared across the top of the forums today saying that there's going to be a maintenance period tomorrow, that's the 8th of May. And this is most likely to do with a couple of problems that have cropped up today with Battlefield 4 and Battlelog. The first of these problems is that Battlelog was down for quite a long time today, and there's been no reason given as to why it went down other than that there was a server issue, and that was posted on Reddit by one of the devs. Another problem has been people having connection issues and discovering that a lot of their unlocks have disappeared when they do manage to connect. And as you can see from this post of EA, this happened this morning before Battlelog was shut down. So perhaps Battlelog was shut down today temporarily to fix this issue, and the server maintenance tomorrow is to put the fix in place permanently. But whatever the reason, the servers are going down tomorrow morning, so that's the 8th of May, between 2 AM and 6 AM Pacific time, 9 AM to 1 PM Universal time, and that's 8 AM to 12 PM Greenwich Mean Time. So tomorrow morning the servers will be going down. Now they've said this may mean to disconnect from the games. So what will probably happen is that servers will disappear from the server browser, but if you're on a server it shouldn't affect you until that individual server is taken down and restarted. It was reported by some server owners that there had been a server update last night. However, there have been no patch notes for an R34 update, which would be the next server update, and DICE have said that there wasn't. So something went on with the servers last night, but it wasn't an update. I've talked before about what I thought was bad news reporting in Battlefield 4, and unfortunately we've got another example appeared on one of the larger information sources for Battlefield. So this is an article from Battlefield 4 Central, and as you can see the headline says Battlefield 4 says 7 million plus copies, only 2% are still playing. Now the figures they've used, yes, that headline is right. However, where they got those figures from is what is the issue with this article. Getting hold of the stats as to how many people are playing Battlefield 4 is pretty easy. You just go to BF4 stats, and there you can see at the time that I'm making this video, which is about 9 o'clock in the evening UK time, there's about 30,000 people playing on the PC, and in total there's about 180,000 people online overall. Now you may be thinking, well that doesn't sound like very many people are playing, and it's true, but it's a snapshot of a particular time, and the time is quite interesting for the Battlefield 4 Central article. The stats used in this article were gathered at 7 AM in the morning US time, which is about 1 AM European time. So, is it surprising that there weren't a lot of people online? 7 AM in the US, 1 AM in Europe. They loaded their figures. Now, let's have a look at something that's a bit more reliable in the way of figures. So this is a graph, and it shows you how many people played in January, February and March. So you can see the minimum number online for the PC is around 26,000, and it goes up to a max of 62,000. So these peaks come at the weekends. As you can see, there's roughly 4 or 5 peaks a month to correspond with the weekends. So what we can tell from these figures is that at the game's low point there's about 100,000 people playing, and when it gets busy there's about 250,000 people playing. But the BF4 Central article would have you believe that those are the same people every time, and that there are only 250,000 people playing Battlefield 4. Now I know I'm not one of those 250,000 people because I rarely play Battlefield 4 at the weekends. So what can these statistics tell us about Battlefield 4? Well, clearly more people play at the weekends than they do during the week. And it's about a 30,000 player difference between the middle of the week and the weekend. And player appreciation months and the launch of DLC makes a big difference. You tend to get a spike in players for the 2 weeks after a DLC, and then it starts to drop down again. One thing you can see from this graph is that they are clearly tailing off, and we have lost 25% of the players between October and March. But that's 6 months, and I don't think that's too bad. One thing that is really clear is that they have tailed off considerably for the two Xboxes, the 360 and the Xbox One. And I don't have any clear reason for this, but I would suspect that it's Titanfall. Now, while Titanfall didn't have much longevity on the PC, it is almost a perfect console shooter. And the PS3 and PS4 have stayed pretty level on Battlefield, but the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One have dropped off. And I'm wondering if that is because they got Titanfall and the PlayStation didn't. But as everything with statistics, that is just speculation. You can read anything you want into statistics. Is Battlefield 4 dead? No. Are 2% of people still playing it? No, it's more than that. How much more? Nobody knows, because all these tell you is the number of players at any one time. They don't tell you who they are, where they are, or any information like that. So, Battlefield 4 Central's only 2% of people are still playing Battlefield 4 is just a headline to grab attention, and they've read what they wanted into statistics that they took at a time they wanted to get the results they wanted. So the moral of this story is don't trust statistics you see in articles. You can use them to say whatever you want. So that's it for this episode of Battlefield 4 News. Don't forget the servers might be a bit erratic tomorrow morning, and I'll bring you more news when it happens. Thanks for watching.